So here's just, and this is the same song towards the end. He said, you out of pocket. You entertaining the mediocre, you need to stop it. And then he said, you entertaining old friends when they're toxic.
Oh,
and then he said,
preach.
And then he said, what's your life like? Bullshit and gossip. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let me run with this one. Letting go of relationships, toxic emotions, toxic thoughts, toxic people, toxic relationships, toxic careers, anything that does not serve you anymore has to be let go of. We are shown this in nature constantly. Trees are all around us going through seasons of growing, shedding what doesn't serve them, becoming bare, and then rebirthing just as beautifully, if not as before.
You got to feel the grief when you shed that stuff, though, yo.
Yes,
so many people, like, you got to make sure you do it out of love, not unnecessarily because
love for yourself,
love
not
for
hate
yourself,
for
and be
them.
like, I am not feeling good within myself.
This is no longer in alignment with me, and I'm going to let it go.
I have changed, and I love my friends to death. I love what they've done for me in my life. But like, we not at the same place anymore, man. Yep. That's a really hard thing.
It is.
Oh,
it is
my
hard,
God, it's
but
hard.
The liberation that you get when you walk that journey, when you face something, change something hard, and watch what happens in your life, like when you face it head on
people start coming
and change it, and then you just... You've talked to me before, and I love this kind of quote of yours where you say some days you just have to hold on. When you're changing those things in life, it's not going to be easy. Mm-mm. Like, I think so sometimes it's like defeating, and then you'll run back to your old behaviors because you feel like your whole life's falling apart. Your life is falling apart to become something better. It's like the phoenix dying and rising from the ashes. When you start changing things, when you start changing those relationships that don't work for you, when you start letting go of friends that don't work for you, people get pissed.
Yeah.
Things can be very uncomfortable for yourself and those around you, but keep moving. It's like shedding your skin as a snake. Don't stop. Just keep going. And then you get to this penultimate place where you are free of all those things, and then you can choose, like in those first lyrics of his, what you really want, you know?
Yeah. You know what? It reminds me, there's a story, we always talk about it a lot, and it's out of the Bible, and it's just like, they talk about the story of Moses and when the Israelites left their slavery in Egypt and stuff like that. And one of the things when I was realizing when I start shedding those things, there is a certain, like in this, like when they crossed the Red Sea, yada, yada, they were stuck in the wilderness. They were supposed to be there for like 40 days. They ended up being there for years. But I mean, like, but after you cross out of that toxicity, there is going to be a moment where you are lonely, where you don't know what's going to happen, where it's going to hurt every single day, where like you're doing whatever you can just to survive. And I can speak on that from straight up experience. And it sucks and it hurts. And every day there is no telling what, like every single day I was just sitting over there like, why the hell am I even doing this? I would much rather not be lonely and go back to that crap, which is exactly what the Israelites were going through. They were just like, why would you take us away from Egypt? We were eating good. We were doing, who cares if we were getting beat? And like, that's exactly what was.
What a metaphor. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what was happening. Like, and they kept saying, no, we got to keep moving forward. And they were like, we had food, we had shelter, we're out here in the wilderness and blah. And they were just fussing about that. And they would start creating fake idols and stuff like that. Like, can someone please? But like, there's this moment when you're letting go of that it's going to be a lonely journey. And like the people that you may need in your life may not show up right away, but just keep making that decision to choose to stay out of that. And it is hard. And I feel like, oh my God, how hard is that to like, to do that once you decide to, and like, I think that's why some people go back, where it's just like, I'll just go find someone else real quick because I can't deal with this loneliness. My heart hurts. I got to sit here and deal with this grief. Like I'm not going to use as one of the examples, but one of the things, you know, Kendrick says in one of his songs is, you ain't felt grief till you felt it sober. And I think about it at the same time, like you ain't felt grief also until you felt it consciously. Like, like that is a whole different level of, and like, you know, and even if you look at the word sober, it's just like by not using some kind of device to like get rid of your feelings, whether that's people you date or, you know, food or anything like that. You ain't felt this until you felt it sober. It's so much different in so many different ways. Like it was.
I love that.
Woo!
I just like have to take one more moment because I love that you said that, and it's literally like making me cry realizing it's been the most difficult thing I've ever done, but the past 3 years, I let go of everything toxic that I knew. I shed this skin. I let go of my career, of my relationships, of my friends, of everything, of my health, everything that I knew. And it was so awful going through it, but I would never take it back because I've made it to the other side.
Made it to the other side. I mean, like it's when you're walking through it, it's hard to believe that there is another side.
Right. Yeah.
It's hard to believe. And like every now and then, though, I would run into people who would say, "You're going to make it," or "I'm so proud of you. Thank you." I remember someone told me, "Thank you for trusting the process." And I was just like, I don't want to.
Can I say one? Well, I know, like, we could just do this forever. It's going to be a 20-hour. We're going to keep talking after this podcast. I hope you guys know. And we were talking before it, too. So, butterflies. I love butterflies because they are such a great example of universal timing and trusting, especially when things feel hard. Not only do they start out as a caterpillar, like, what the fuck? Don't even look like butterflies.
Yeah.
But also, then they enter into the cocoon phase. But when the way they get out of their cocoon is that they have to strengthen their wings by beating them against the cocoon, which breaks the cocoon open, which makes their wings strong enough to fly. Talk about universal timing.
Yep.
Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly.
And it's the same thing with like a tree. They said, like, people were saying, like, like trees, the way to which they actually gathered, like they were like trying to grow trees in greenhouses, and they were saying that they started realizing these trees kept falling over every single time they were in the greenhouse. But what they learned is that the wind outside, actually, it would shake them, and that's what was making them stronger.
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. I love that. Yes, we have to bend as the trees.
We have to be able, like, the wind is part of the
That's
journey.
What makes us strong.
The wind is part of the journey.
I can't right now.
Like,